Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's webinar. This webinar is about the initial order. So I'm going to get started with the presentation. And at the end, I will begin answering questions. So if you do have questions throughout the webinar, you can go ahead and type that in the box. Okay, so you're going to be placing your initial order through eBuddy, and you'll use your girls' order card totals to come up with the amount that you need to order. You'll also be ordering your booth orders as well. That's for the first couple booths. You don't have to order for all of your booths because there will be opportunities to pick up cookies at cookie cupboards. I'll go over cookie cupboards at another webinar, but there's also information on cookie cupboards in your handbook. Now, if you order boxes, well, that's what you're going to be doing is ordering boxes of cookies. You're going to be assigning boxes to girls. eBuddy will automatically round those boxes up to full cases. And the cases are 12 boxes a case. That's for all cookies, core cookies and specialty cookies. So let's say you ordered 8 boxes of Samoas in total for your troop. eBuddy is going to automatically round that up to 12 boxes. Those 4 boxes you are going to be responsible for, but you'll have the whole sale to sell them. Now you're going to be picking up your initial boxes on either February 12 through 17. When you submit your order, you'll also be selecting your delivery site and time. There's no return on initial cookies, so whatever you do order, you're going to be responsible for. Keep that in mind when you're placing your order. There is an eBuddy guide, but if you want more specific guidelines on how to place an initial order, you can check the back of the handbook, the Troop Manager Handbook. Now there's rewards for initial rewards, and that's what the girls earn for selling just initial boxes. They can't earn these rewards for the whole sale. It's pretty much just initial. So if they sell 160 or more boxes on their initial order, they earn the charm. And then if they get up to 180 or more, they earn the patch. But to earn the patch, they also have to send 12 or more emails during the fall sale program. Okay? I wanted to go over eBuddy with you. I think that would be very useful if I go over what you'll be seeing when you place the initial order. So the first thing I would do before placing your initial order is to make sure that all your girls are listed by going to the Girls tab. If you notice that a girl's missing, email productsales@gssem.org. But don't do that unless you're sure that she's a registered girl. Now, to place your initial order, you'll go to the Initial Order tab. That's that tab right over here that I clicked on. You'll see your girls listed, and then you'll select the girl that you want to assign the cookies to based on her order card. So you'll select the girl, just click on it, and then you'll type in the boxes of cookies that she wants to order for her customers. The T to T is the troops to troops. Now, if someone donated on behalf of Noel, you're going to be placing it under this column. These aren't cookies you're going to be picking up at your initial order site, by the way. These are cookies that are going to be donated at the end of the sale by council. So you'd still deposit the money, you'll still be ACH sweeped, and you'll still get funds, but you won't actually see these cookies. These cookies will be donated by council at the end of the sale. So you're going to go ahead and assign all the cookies and hit OK. Once you do that, and you do that for all the other girls, you're pretty much all set with assigning the orders to the girls. Now, if you want to start ordering cookies for your booths that are coming up right after initial pickup, you could do that by clicking the booth tab. Now, you do this if you don't want to assign the cookies to the girls and you just want them held in the extras bank. Because then later on in the sale, you could start assigning those cookies to the girls based on what they sold at booths. Okay, so when you go to the rewards tab, there's a whole section on just initial rewards. And to view what the girls earned based on what they sold and initials, you could check out this right over here. It'll tell you if they earned it or not. Now, digital order cookies are not going to be added by you. These are automatically assigned to the girl. eBuddy and Digital Cookie talk to each other, so when orders are placed on Digital Cookie, they're going to transfer it over to eBuddy. So you don't need to add these orders, or you're just going to double order. Let me just run through the questions and check to see how everyone's doing so far. But it looks like everyone's good. Yes. Okay. Some of the questions that we have going on so far that I've noticed is that they can't get into eBuddy. Well, one of the reasons you can't get into eBuddy would probably be that we don't have the required forms. I touched on this on the last webinar and I thought I'd bring it up again. There are two required forms for eBuddy, and that's the ACH. I'm going to actually show you where you can find it on our site. So if you go to the GSSEM site and you click on the hub, which is no longer a link, but it'll help you get to the cookie page, and then you select programs, and then product program. So the ACH form and the agreement to assume debt form are the two forms that you need filled out to ensure that you're able to get into eBuddy. This isn't going to be automatic though. Once you fill out these forms, doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be activated in eBuddy. You have to double check. You have to make sure that those forms are turned in. And then once you're sure that the forms are turned in, email product sales and let us know. I just turned in this form. I would like access into eBuddy. Now, I would get on this as soon as possible because it isn't automatic, right? As I mentioned. Also, it is going to take us about a day or two to make sure that the form is verified and okayed before we could get you in. And there's a possibility that you're not registered or your background check is expired. Those are also things that are going to hinder you from getting into eBuddy. And you want to make sure that all your girls are listed in eBuddy. If they're not, you're going to have issues assigning cookies to the girls. But if that's the case, if your girls aren't in on time, I would just put them in their boots section that I mentioned before. And then you just have them in the extra side. The only thing is with that is that they're going to not have initial orders, rewards. But they'll still have cookies at the same time that everyone else does. Let me run through these questions pretty quickly. Run through these questions. Is there anything we need to do for the rewards? We have to fill out a form in eBuddy. eBuddy does everything for you in regards to rewards. Pretty much though, for initial especially, they're going to be automatically assigned based on the girl's level. But there may be once we get into final rewards, you might notice that there's choices that you have to make. I'm going to try to run through this right over here. So if they get to level 215, in this like if she actually got to this level right now, she didn't because we're not in the final rewards section yet, you'd have to check off what she wanted. So in this case, you do have to do something, but usually you don't have to do anything in eBuddy unless there's a choice needed. So for initial, you don't have to do anything. If you're assigning cookies to the girl, you're pretty much all set with rewards. My daughter sold 27 but didn't send any emails. Okay, so if you sold 180 more cookies during initial but didn't send emails, she will not qualify for the patch. It's actually a hand-by-hand thing. They go together. It's something we promoted during the fall sale. We actually had it on the fall sale card that if you want to earn the avatar patch during cookie sale, you're going to have to send these emails now. So unfortunately, she won't be able to earn that, but she will get the charm. eBuddy will tell you exactly what the girls earned. If you go to that rewards section right over here, and then view, you'll see, there's only one girl listed here, but you'll see all the girls listed. And once they get to the rewards level, you'll see what they earned. Like if she earned the Charmed Turtle, it'll say right next to her Charmed Turtle. So eBuddy will tell you exactly what they earned based on what you assigned them. Do girls still get credit towards rewards for the cookie boxes ordered for boots? So they do. If you assign the cookies to them, they do. But if you keep it, let me get over there to show you. So if you have the cookies under extras and do not assign them to the girls, they will not get credit. You need to assign them. Now, if you keep them here for initial, that's fine. Just make sure you assign them before the end of the sale in April, so then they're applied to their final rewards. But if you're not sure who to assign them to, like I mentioned before, and you have these cookies sitting here for their booth orders, that's fine. Just make sure that you eventually assign them throughout the sale. That makes sense. So if you want to order extras, but they're not actually for boots, definitely put them under the boot tab, which is right over here. Definitely put it under that, and then you'll have like a pool of cookies that the girls could take from, and then you'll know exactly who to assign them to based on what they take, and just assign them later on. Can you assign how to assign cookie boots? Well, I don't have any cookies. They're all zeroed out, so I really wouldn't know how to assign the cookies at this point because there's no cookies to assign. But pretty much this is in the handbook on the back of the at the back of the handbook. There's a step-by-step guide. But really, it's the same thing. You would just click on the girl and assign the cookies based on like if there's 10 Savannah Smiles, you could assign her 10 Savannah Smiles and then hit OK. But you would do this under the girl orders tab. So after initials closed out, we're all done with initial. You're going to go to girls order tab. You're going to select on her name. Oh, well, it's a little bit different right now because I'm not on this section yet. But pretty much you're going to go to the girls order tab, select on the girl's name, and then once you select the girl's name, you assign her the cookies based on the extras. Now, if you have 10 Savannah Smiles, you can assign 10. But if you can't assign more than 10. So that's how you assign those cookies from the boots. Doing order number of boxes or cases under boots. Same things like same thing. So when you're ordering for the girls, you're ordering boxes. You're going to do the same thing for boots. So if you want 10 boxes of Savannah Smiles, only order 10. Don't order 10 because like let me take that back. So you're going to be ordering boxes for girls and you're going to be doing the same for boots. So when you order 10 boxes of Savannah Smiles under a girl's name, you'd be doing the same thing for boots. If you only want 10 boxes for a booth, you're going to be ordering 10. But remember, it rounds up to 12, so you get one full case. So yeah, you're going to be ordering under boxes for boots. Do booth orders count towards troop rewards or average girl rewards? Yes. So PGA, which is the per girl average, is the total amount that the troop has ordered. Doesn't matter if it's assigned or not. So if the troop ordered 1,000 boxes and only 900 got assigned, not 1,000 is going to be included in the average. And it's divided by the total number of girls selling. So if you assigned a girl a box of cookies, she's going to be included in the average. She has 0 orders assigned, she is not included in the average. So if you have a girl listed in your troop and she's not part of a troop, we can't really remove her. Just keep her at 0 and she won't affect your PGA. If you're just tuning in onto this webinar, you don't have to worry. We're going to have this webinar taped and on our site, I would say within the next day or two. So definitely check that out. And if you have any questions after watching it, just let us know. Email product sales. Does what show? Jackie, if you could ask that again, does that only show after you submitted your initial order? Because I'm not sure what you're asking about what shows. I don't recommend combining orders under the booth orders. If you can get your girls in, if they're registered, do that and assign the cookies because that's the only way they'll get their initial rewards. If you assign them all under booth, they are not getting their rewards. I'm going to repeat that. They're not getting their rewards. So if you want them to get their initial rewards and they're registered, make sure that they're added into eBuddy and then assign them their cookies. Only reason you should put them under booth is if they're not listed and the deadline's here and it's like a minute before you submit your order. I don't recommend putting it in the booth unless you're 100% certain there's no way to get them in eBuddy in time. Other is pretty much another. I mean, you don't really have to order under other. That's pretty much, I would leave that alone if you'd like. But booth is pretty much for boots. Other, you could leave it alone if you don't want to add. It's pretty much the same thing. Can I still submit orders after I submit the initial? No, initial orders, that's a good question, is only submitted once. So make sure it's all set to go before you submit it. Worst comes to worst, before the deadline, if you submit it, let product sales know and we'll also submit it for you. But if that's like right on the deadline, we really can't do anything at that point. How do we move extras from the extras to individual? I kind of already mentioned that. You pretty much just click on the girl's name. You see these boxes and assign them based on the extras. You can't assign any more than what's in the extras. And you do that in the girl orders tab. This is pretty much just the initial orders tab. I can't really get to the girl's order. So the fill out link under rewards should not be used for anything. I mean, I can't really make the selections at this point because we don't have any rewards, but that is where you're going to be making your selections. So I can't really do that. But you would be making your selections here and then submitting it. But there's nothing to select for the initial, so you don't even have to worry about that button now. There's a lot of buttons in eBuddy I wouldn't play around with unless you actually absolutely have to. So how do I find out where the cupboard is? We don't have the cupboard information out yet. We will soon, I would say within a week or so. So the initial tab should only be used now until Thursday. Correct. It's going to be locked out pretty soon after Thursday. So after that, you'll be using the girl order tab, which is right over here, which I can't really play around with right now. If you're not doing rewards, you don't have to worry, I guess, about assigning orders. That's correct. Are the booth orders returnable? No orders placed on initial are returnable. You guys, doesn't even matter if you place it under booths for initial. None of these orders can be returnable. Make sure you know that. None of these orders, even if they're not assigned to the girls. I mean, if you assign the cookies and they get to 160, as soon as you hit OK on her name and go over to the rewards tab, it's going to show up that she earned that reward. Someone asked, how soon will you know what the girls earned? Well, as soon as you assign the cookies and hit submit for her order, you're going to see that reward. We are doing home deliveries this year, but that deadline has passed for that submission. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. We sent out the email through eBuddy, so I'm sorry if you missed that. We have to put the extras to a girl's order. We can't leave it as extra. No, you can leave it as extra. You do not have to, like these extras are for, yeah, because you are going to have extras to round you up to a full case. You could leave them alone. Or sometimes troop leaders notice that a girl needs a couple boxes to get to the next level, so maybe assign it to her. You can see previous year's sales if you go down to the drop down box. You don't have to participate in an initial sale. That's up to your troop. You could go straight to direct sale. Okay, so when you submit your initial order, it's going to prompt you to the delivery tab where you're going to see your final order. And this is in cases. So you're going to notice like a big number difference. Well, this is in cases. And then you're going to be selecting your delivery order. I'm sorry, your delivery site right over here. You're not going to have that information until you submit your initial order. If you want some information on the delivery sites, you could go to the handbook. The information is posted there. There are some TBDs, but most of them are in there. Do you submit for each girl or after you fill in all girls' info? I'm not sure, Kara, what you mean by that. Can someone else besides the troop leader pick up the cookies? I'm going to be going over more about picking up cookies on my next webinar. So if you have any other questions like that, definitely attend the next webinar. Another adult or another volunteer in your troop could definitely pick up for you. So we can use the extras for boots as well. Definitely. I mean, those extras are your troops, so you could definitely use them for the boots. I'm just looking through the email. I'm sorry, the questions. If you have any questions with digital cookie, double check your spam folder. If you still don't see it, email product sales. And that's if you're listed in eBuddy as whether a Scout's parent or a volunteer anybody. There's no to be determined for delivery sites. Once you get to that drop down box, they're all going to be locations. We have locations for all sites, so there's no TBDs. And you're going to have to select a site, by the way. Or you're going to miss out on a site. You might leave it blank, and then we're going to say, okay, here are your options. So you might miss out on a site you would actually want. What if you don't submit your initial order by the deadline? Whatever you have in there is going to be your initial order. We might come the next day, reach out to you and be like, oh, we noticed you have some orders, but they're not submitted. But that's like, really, I would not rely on that. I would make sure that you have it in on time. Because there's lots of troops, we might miss yours. Does the troop have to pay out their account for extra cookies that are added? Yeah, all cookies ordered on initial are included in your first ACH sweep, even those extra boxes. So keep that in mind. Both forms are required for eBuddy. If you filled out the ACH for fall sale, you do not have to fill it out for cookie. If you have a troop listed in eBuddy that didn't get the digital cookie email and the parent is pretty sure that they do not see it in their spam folder, definitely email product sales. You could sell on digital cookie up until April, by the way, until the end of the sale. Yeah, the first ACH sweep is not so. We give you some time, to collect the money, and remember, it's $2 of every box of your initial order. Every box, the extras, the girls, and then the final ACH sweep in April will be the remaining amount. We would like to give you enough money enough time to collect your money. I would definitely fill out the ACH form if you want to email product sales. So to confirm that we have your banking information, you can do that, and we'll double check for you. But if you feel like you haven't, double check. I'm sorry, fill it out definitely in email product sales so we can double check. The money will come out of the troop account. So wherever account is on the ACH form, that is where the money will be coming out of. And if you feel like we don't have that information, we will definitely let you know before the ACH sweep. But if you're pretty sure we don't have that information, yes, reach out to us, please. Okay, I'm gonna give us a couple minutes to make sure that if there's any questions, I can answer them for you guys. How do you determine how many cookies you need for a booth? I will check out our GSSEM, Product Program Support Facebook page, post what you selected as a booth, and ask the leaders around your area. They'll definitely let you know what they think. If they sold there before, they'll give you an idea of how much to order. I can't really give you an estimate because it does depend on your location. Okay, I do have this recorded. I'm going to stop the recording, but I'm going to stay online for a couple minutes to answer any remaining questions. So let me stop the recording